There's a lot that goes into filming a movie, or even a scene. Sometimes the scenes are so complicated to put together that it can take just days to film a scene that's only a few minutes long and months to finalize. Today we wanted to go through some of these scenes that are in this category and find out just why it took so long to get these scenes finalized. First up on our list is Studio Ghibli, most known for their visually stunning and emotionally resonant animated films. For one of their films, they had a 4-second crowd scene that took over a year to complete. In 2013, the scene had to be hand-drawn without using any CGI effects. It took an animator 15 months to complete. At 24 frames per second, that's a total of 96 images, resulting in 6.4 images per month. As we can see during these few seconds, there's a lot of movement. People are pushing others to get through the crowd, or some is pushing a wagon of what looks to be supplies through said crowd. With each hand movement and head turn, you have to remember that every frame had to be hand-drawn for it to look the way that it did. But before we get into more of these scenes, today's trivia question, emphasizing on Studio Ghibli and its beautiful scenes and films, when was this movie studio founded? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around till the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct. Next on our list is of the Die Hard film franchise with A Good Day to Die Hard in 2013, the 5th film in the franchise. According to director John Moore, people are well savvy to the cynical reheating of any product, any franchise. Any stuff won't do. The bar is a bit higher. There are a couple of great gags and a couple great mechanisms. It's not like he's this idiot, bumbling around Moscow making America won the Cold War jokes. It's not Carrie on Die Hard, I can assure you. The filmmaker also teased an epic car chase scene through Moscow, which has been taking up a great deal of the production time. The scope along goes from New York to Moscow. It's very, very intentional. There's a car chase throughout Moscow that took them 78 days to shoot. As we can see in the behind-the-scenes breakdown, you'd say any car chase is elaborate and thoroughly choreographed for the safety of the cast and crew around them. Coming in at number 3 will be from Spectre. The first helicopter scene takes place deep in Mexico City as the Day of the Dead parade flies past below, while the second circles around London's landmark tower Big Ben. The scenes are sufficiently death-defying even without the huge population swirling below the helicopters. Over 1,500 extras were recruited for the Mexico City scene. The final product resulted from knitting together 7 months of different shots. Director Sam Mendes said in an interview, much of the actual stunt work was imposed on a CGI rendering of Mexico City after the fact, though not as might be expected because of concerns about the people milling about below. The fight scene was not just 30 feet above the crowd of extras, 30 feet above the extras and at a hair-raising proximity to another helicopter not shown on screen. On another note, with a more popular movie, Gravity. The 17-minute opening shot of Gravity in 2013 appears as a single shot but involved months of planning and visual effects work to simulate a seamless space environment. The opening scene from the establishing view of Earth to Dr. Stone detaching from the structure is a single continuous shot lasting about 12.5 minutes. When the script was finalized, Alfonso assumed it would take about a year to complete the film, but it took 4.5 years. As executive producer, Chris 𝗪𝗶𝗃𝗃 told Bill and others at a conference, Alfonso had an idea that he wanted the shots to be incredibly long, and I said, how long? You mean 40 seconds? No, 17 minutes. There is a beautiful arc to it, beginning with a shot of Earth and a mighty astronaut flying above it, and ending with a shot of space and a helpless astronaut falling into it.
Put a bow on it, Dr. Stone.
I can't. The board is still initializing.
I'm not gonna ask you again.
1 second.
Not 1 second, now. Shut it down.
I want to mention we are currently doing a giveaway. Share what you were most excited for with this project, and the best comment will win a $25 Fandango gift card where you can purchase a full movie with added bonus features. Comment down below and one winner will be chosen. Rewinding the clock all the way back to 1977, a fairly long scene over a bridge. The most important scene in the film was this one. The 12-minute bridge crossing scene in 𝗪𝗁𝗲𝗃 took several months to film. The production faced challenges like relocating the set due to droughts and constructing a complex suspension bridge. The bridge was anchored by cross beams at each end and the ropes suspending it were frayed. The wooden planks rotted and in some places absent. It was explained by 𝗪𝗶𝗱𝗃𝗀𝗃 of the drought conditions. As the weeks unfolded, there was a little rainfall and the river was diminishing. Local experts and army engineers assured that the river had never gone down, but slowly, it was doing just that, from 12 feet to 5. By the time the bridge was finished, there was a little over a foot of water, and then the river dried up entirely. In 2015, Leonardo DiCaprio starred in The Revenant, a story about revenge. The bear attack scene in The Revenant was a combination of practical effects and CGI, taking months to choreograph and film to ensure a realistic and harrowing experience. Shot to appear as a single take, it is brutal. It is intense, and from a filmmaking perspective, it is a thing of technical and narrative beauty. In many ways, it makes The Revenant the movie that it is, setting the table for what becomes an unforgettable, unflinching survival story. The 𝗪𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗃 scene, where Neo fights multiple Agent Smiths, required extensive CGI and choreography. And lastly, Birdman, renowned for its illusion of a continuous shot. So much goes into selling the illusion of continuity. For Birdman, the cinematography had to be nothing short of miraculous, moving the camera so seamlessly that it never became disjointed. 𝗪𝗏𝗃𝗃 had to be right on the money with finding good transitions as to not give away cuts, their safe haven being mostly in pans.
A film that looks like one continuous shot. Of course, it's not really a single shot. So we went to Technicolor headquarters in Hollywood and talked to the film's digital colorist, Steve Scott, about how they achieved it.
I do a process called DI, which is digital intermediate. I guess in layman's term, it would be like having a big Photoshop.
There was another particular shot in Eyes Wide Shut in 1999 that entailed Tom Cruise walking through a doorway, reportedly shot 95 times, which took 15 months to shoot. Seems really long for someone just walking through a doorway momentarily. Kubrick took his desire for dozens, if not hundreds of takes to a level of self-parody while shooting a scene where Tom Cruise's protagonist, Dr. Bill Hartford, walks through a door. Kubrick reportedly had Cruise perform the scene 95 times, all while the cast and crew were presumably left wondering how many different ways a person could possibly walk through a door.
He always would say, the cheapest part of all this is do another take, do another take.
He would say, okay, you've done a few takes, now you can just do what you want to do.
He wanted to create an environment where something would happen and it would appear, and then he'd say, ah, that's it.
You know, Stanley would say, look, we gotta earn every scene with this character, every single moment.
In 2002, a film called Russian Ark was born. With only one day to shoot the entire 96-minute film, the crew managed to do so. It was shot entirely in the Winter Palace of the Russian State Museum right before Christmas in 2001, using a one-take take single 87-minute Steadicam sequence shot. It extensively uses the fourth wall device, but repeatedly broken and re-erected. The first 3 attempts were cut short by technical difficulties, but the fourth was successful. It came to the movie 1917, the battlefield run scene was one continuous shot, and as we learned from the previous scenes, it takes a while to get a long shot like this as perfect as possible. And as far as the answer to our trivia question, based in Tokyo, Japan, Studio Ghibli was founded in 1985. But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What do you think about all these moments? Which one was your favorite? And what is a scene that you were most fascinated with? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys!